Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LOLz. We are here every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm joined by my co-host, the man who owns 8/10 of my Nikola Jokic Cosmic. How are we doing, Brian?
Good. That's how I want to be remembered too. So
it's so sad. The man who owns 9/10 of my Nikola Jokic. I'm learning lots of pronunciations lately. I messed up Giannis on the Swolecast today. I said Giannis, my bad. Someone told me I've been saying Jokic and it's Jokic.
Yeah.
I got a lot to learn, Brian.
Yeah, Jokic is easy because it's the Joker, is his nickname. So.
Yeah. That's the thing. You know, you're learning a lot.
There's a couple tough ones. Daniel House on the Rockets. I think it's Daniel. I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. That one's a tough one. And a couple other ones too that I would definitely fuck up if I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah, because LOLz is really it's your main media outlet. It's your only place to mess up player names, correct?
Yeah, unless someone invites me on one of their podcasts or whatever.
Yeah. See, I do too many shows now where I'm constantly exposing myself to how little I know.
Yeah, kind of like a top shot tout, maybe. I don't know if you want to go that far.
I really don't want to be. I really don't. I really don't. There are so many places you can go for top shot touting. Although right before this, people were asking me in my Discord what my favorite moments were to buy under $500. So fuck it. I'm a top shot tout, Brian.
Wow. Did you answer any of those?
I did.
Wow.
What's that?
How does one decide that's?
I didn't even, I said what I said on the Swolecast, where I said I've been looking at Series 1 base moments of future Hall of Fame players. That's what I said.
Okay.
So I guess I am a tout now.
So question in my YouTube chat: Bric, over under 30% of net worth in crypto.
Ooh, see, this is a legit question because now that we have Bitcoin cresting $50,000, like more and more of my net worth is in Bitcoin and crypto.
Yeah.
And the thing is like last bull run, I said to myself, after I was FOMOing in, I was like, I'm going to learn 2 lessons. I'm going to dollar cost average in during the next bear market. Check. Did that. That was good. And then I also said to myself, I'm going to take some profits off the table during the run up. And I have 2 things. One, I just never want to sell my Bitcoin. And 2, I don't want to deal with the tax implications of like these little like dollar cost averaging out and taking the tax hit every time. So have you considered taking money off the table, or are you viewing it similar as me?
Of course I've considered it. I mean, I think anyone who's got a decent amount on there considers it, but I wonder if the tax deal is kind of like driving the price up, like people just artificially, people don't want to pay the tax. And Robinhood you can't cash out on Robinhood, right? And PayPal too. So like people just keep it, they can't sell it. Like, what are they going to do? And like, it's like, I also think like, maybe it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point.
Yeah.
Like just everyone's into it. But, and so like, maybe it is bullshit, but it doesn't matter. Everyone believes bullshit. So therefore it's not. I mean, I love crypto. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but like it is a little strange. I think there are some things going on. One of the things we touched on briefly last week, which was just like everything's going up. Like it seems like you can't make a mistake. I know like our world is niche, even though it seems like it's not. It is like I watched your stream with Andy, the DeFi stream.
Yeah.
And that was I thought that was really interesting. I hope you guys do another one where you're talking about like breaking down, doing like a sushi swap or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I'd watch that. But it's just super surprising to me that there's that much liquidity and interest in that, in just such a small, tiny market that no one knows how to do. The whole thing's fascinating, but I do think there is something going on with the Fed and the money printing that is raising the asset prices of everything. Stocks, I know gold got hit today, but that's still up over the year. It just hit its all-time high like a couple months ago. Silver, and I mean they're not just up since the coronavirus bottom either. They're up all-time highs. All these DeFi options, almost every crypto that's going up, and no one has a fucking job. You know what I mean? Like, It doesn't make any goddamn sense. And it seems like, to me, it's got to be some sort of boom bust cycle where we are at damn near the peak.
Yeah, there's only so many times we can say, well, people aren't going on vacation, so they have more money to spend. Like, we're past that point, right?
It's insane. Like, where are these people getting all this fucking money? It doesn't. So, like, that last drop by Top Shots was 50,000 at what, $14 a pop, right?
Yeah.
It's like, bam, millions. Like in this brand new thing. I think either way, it's gonna be. It's better than keeping cash. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. But I think as long as you're not keeping cash, you'll be better. Like, I don't know which one of these things is going to be. Obviously, Bitcoin looks like it's going to be the big winner, but where's the odds-on favorite probably. But like, I think as long as you're not keeping cash, large amounts of cash, you're probably going to be better off. But most people, I don't think, are doing any of this. And most people are going to be left behind big time if some sort of inflation does come, or just if the increase of assets go to other markets like food or things like that. There's going to be a lot of people who are fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we got people in the chat calling the market top here. I mean, that'd be risky business calling it a top here for the past 10 months or so. I'm not in the business of doing that. I get it. We're reaching those stages of euphoria, right, where people truly feel like they're doing like the Nick Young, pull up from half court, like I can't miss, like on this stuff, but. Yeah,
I think market top is probably, I don't think that's the right term, at least what I'm trying to get at anyways.
Yeah.
So market top would just be some sort of like Beanie Babies or something. Like, there was a top to that market, but Beanie Babies weren't artificially changed by the Fed bank, right? They didn't lower interest rates so you could get Beanie Babies like they do with the Fed interest rates. They didn't print 40% of the world's money supply in 1 year so you could buy Beanie Baby. You know what I mean? So like, there's got to be repercussions for that in my opinion. And I think we're seeing it. I mean, it doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. Like, even Tesla, like, I love Elon Musk as much as the next guy, but it's like, how many people were trying to short that stock all the way up to 800? You know what I mean? Like, over and over again. It just makes no goddamn sense. And like, so many, the whole stock market's been going up. Yeah. Despite the world being on lockdown, it's fascinating.
And the other thing too, what's happening, with like the NFT stuff is you're seeing like these sky high prices on this art, the CryptoPunks, the hash mat, and like the numbers are eye popping when you're seeing the actual dollar equivalent. And then you realize how much ETH was, even a couple months ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Those purchases in like comparison to those values don't look as insane when you just look at it in pure ETH. But because it is skyrocketed and none of them took profits or are getting out of ETH for fiat, that it like, there's this, I don't even know what the term is for it, where it almost feels like this play money, where the USD version of it is astronomical, but to them, it's not.
I think the same thing. There's a lot of rich young guys who invested early in crypto who are in that sushi swap space and stuff like that. Yeah. And Cyberpunk, maybe even, it's like, whatever. I got 10,000 Ether. I'll throw 1,000 on it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like,
now we know you're full dad mode calling CryptoPunks Cyberpunks.
Is that what I said? That's a brand new video game too, so you can't say that. Um, what the hell was I going to say? Oh, and you know what? Here's another thing. Like if you're going to insult people for investing all these things, which whatever, feel free to. You're better off. Like you're better off, in my opinion, is like doing something other than holding dollars if you have extra money.
And hang on, Brian. Do you want to offer a disclaimer?
I said, in my opinion.
No. But do you want to say that you're not a financial advisor?
I know that. I thought, in my opinion, covers that. But apparently, that Wall Street Bets guy, it's not covering his ass. He's getting sued now, and he's got to go in front of Congress. But really quick, when the Fed adjusts interest rates to dirt cheap, right? So you can't save money, right? It turns like the American saver into the American spender, the American gambler, really, because you'd be an idiot to keep your money in 0% interest savings account because you're going to get eaten up by inflation, even in standard inflation times, right? So like everyone should, only a fool would do that. So like, yeah, if you got extra 10 grand that you're not going to spend, you're a young guy. Why would you not gamble it on Robinhood or, an NFT or something?
Because I feel like there's two lines of thought with it where you hear the responsible version is, the Fed's printing money, fiat isn't a reliable store of value. So this is a better store of value in these assets versus I'm just a degen that is willing to gamble on a cyberpunk. Like, where are you at? Because it seems like it could be a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Oh, I'm sure it's a little bit of column B and just ignorance. I mean, I guarantee a lot of people don't know interest rates are low and it's artificially happening and things like that. But like it still doesn't matter because like businesses know this and then they behave in a different way too, because now they could borrow more at a cheaper rate and buy more stuff. Right. And so you're basically taking from the future to spend now. And so this is the whole Austrian boom bust cycle in a nutshell. And I think we're seeing it, like the NFT, the sushi swap that Andy was talking about with the 84% interest rates roughly with but you also have to get the sushi tokens and stuff like that.
And you have to put up the collateral too.
Yeah. And you have the collateral. That makes sense, right? It's, but are you familiar with Ponzi's like actual story?
Like that. I mean, I know what Ponzi schemes are, but you're talking about the original?
Yeah, like the original guy, Ponzi. I can't remember his first name. He's got like 8 names.
I don't think I know.
Italian immigrant. Yeah, he was like by all accounts like a really nice guy. He was just an idiot. he was just a moron. And like he got like kicked out of America for a brief time or something. He went up to Canada, or maybe he just couldn't get a job. He tried to start all these businesses, but he was a dummy and they kept failing. And so he got a job in Canada working at a bank. And one of the Canadian banks was giving like 4% interest when the other one was giving 2%. And they just had like lines of people out the door. Right. And that's where he like initially got his ideas like, okay, this is like a good idea. How could I do this? And then he got a letter from his mom back in Italy, and they had like this international postage stamps that had different prices for each country. So like one country's 14 cents and 1 7. And he like realized you can arbitrage this. And so like he could just buy thousands of Italian postage stamps and sell this. And this was his idea, was to just go there and just buy up a whole bunch of them. And he just needed seed money, and he's going to give you this high interest rate. And then that's basically what everyone flooded to him, because he was giving like 6%. I can't remember what it was. It was like 6% interest when everyone else was giving 1 or 2 or something like that. Or maybe 12 when everyone else was giving 4, something like that. And this is what made the panic of everyone just giving him all his money. And he ended up being a scammer, and he didn't even actually go and get the postage stamps and didn't do any of it. And the Ponzi scheme is he would pay out, the first people with the second people's money, and then the third people with right. That's what a Ponzi scheme means nowadays. And so like when you tell me 84% interest,
yeah,
it's like, fuck, man, Ponzi couldn't even pull that off.
No, that's what I mean. I said that to Andy on the show, and I will say, I think Andy's a absolutely brilliant guy, and has also stated he has a very high risk tolerance for this stuff. But a lot of it felt like a house of cards, what he was describing to me with that stuff, and where that stuff works in a bull market. But when you have pullbacks, and I'm probably, speaking out of school, I don't know the underpinnings of this stuff well enough, but it did seem fragile is what I'm trying to say.
Right. And it's just insane that they can get that much interest to have, like, what was it, 1.7 billion or trillion liquidity.
I think did he say? Oh yeah, and I think the overall was like 5 mil or 6 billion or locked
whatever.
Up.
It says it on their side. I went there after the show.
Yeah.
I was poking around there, and I'm like, holy cow! Like, who is buying these loans to do crypto punk deals? Because like the BlockFi thing with Anthony Pompliano, I think you can use that money for like real life expenses.
Yeah.
So you could whatever take a loan out for your house, and with the dirt low interest rates, you'd rather keep your Bitcoin because you're probably going to make whatever, in your opinion, Bitcoin's going to go up more than interest rates is going to be. So it makes sense to do that. Exchange your Bitcoin for a loan in cash, et cetera. All those sorts of things. And it's a centralized thing. Not that I'm a big fan of centralized things, but like he could be held accountable. He's on the board. Things like that. I'm still super interested in it. It's just the whole thing it's really fascinating. But the whole economic system right now, I can't believe you could sit here with a straight face, not you, just like the average person, and be like, no, this is normal.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel normal.
And they still haven't even done the 1.9 billion. Is it billion or trillion? Whatever. Like
the stimulus.
Yeah, trillion. I'm assuming. Stimulus.
Yeah.
Jordan had a little comment here on yours really quick.
Yeah,
it all depends on your time horizon. Yeah, but it does like not from my point. Like my point is like keeping dollars instead of the stock market or an IRA or whatever. That's my point. Is like you're a fool if you think, like the highest interest rate now is like 0.5%. Ally Bank or something like that. Like savings account is ridiculous. And whatever you want to say about the stock market, that shit's gambling too.
Right.
It's all fucking gambling.
Well, that's what the entire GameStop meme stock thing was. It's gambling on both sides. If anything, it's just calling out the hypocrisy. The hedge fund guys have been gambling and they've just been playing with a house advantage. And now, the little guys were gambling as retail investors and pushing what edge they had with their meme stocks.
And they're suing this Keith Gill guy. It's fucking disgusting. He's the Reddit handle guy, Deep Fucking Value, which is hilarious.
The guy that looks like Denny Carter.
Yeah, Denny Carter. I think he looks like John Lennon or Julian Lennon. Yeah, maybe Denny Carter and Julian Lennon had a baby.
And what are they? And like, what do they have him like? What are they getting him for?
So I think, well, first of all, it's a class action lawsuit, and these class action lawyers, unless any of them are listening to the show, the present company excluded, are a bunch of fucking scumbags, and they use and they totally
imagine trying to sue this guy,
this fucking guy. So I think they're and class action lawsuits are like almost purely for lawyers. Like you end up with like your $3.75 check, right? And a lot of times they lobby the legislature, state level or federal level, to make specific laws, and then just go right to town attacking businesses or individuals in this case. And I think they're hinging it on he was like an accredited. He was like a some sort of accredited advisor or something, and he didn't reveal that. But it looks like complete bullshit to me.
Yeah.
In a quick cash grab, they probably want him, since he's now got $50 million, whatever. They probably want to, give us $1 million, we'll go away type of thing, which is usually these things are shakedowns.
And the irony of it is the whole reason the short squeeze worked is because it was a movement by a large collection of people who rallied around a cause. Like cutting off the figurehead or using him as like this sacrificial lamb. I mean, it just makes those hedge fund guys feel better about themselves. It doesn't actually squash a movement.
I mean, well, it's the SEC. And so he's going in front of Congress to testify tomorrow, I believe. Like they're wheeling this guy in there. Yeah, and they're what's the thing? Oh, here's what they keep saying on like CNBC and all these legacy corporate bullshit is but who's gonna be left holding the bag, Pete? Who's gonna be left holding the bag? Right? This is like the gambling addiction thing. Who's gonna be left holding the bag? Like this is like in these type of agreement, like these are adults, consenting adults agreeing to terms, you know, in the stock market, for example, on a stock, right? Where there will be winners and losers. And we all know this, right? Like someone will be holding the bag because there's winners and losers in these markets.
It's what is it? Yeah. Zero sum, not zero sum.
Well, yeah. But like, it's another one of these quick catchphrases, right? So legislators can use this in front of the mic and they could sell it to their blue-pilled audience that will just regurgitate their bullshit. You got to pay attention to like all their tricks. Like, I mean, not tricks. They're so fucking obvious. If you know what they're, if you don't trust them as far as you could fucking throw them, that like their logic never holds strong.
Yeah.
Like bag holders. Okay. Well, then why are you propping up anyone? Right. Like, why would you bring on a hedge fund guy? Why would you bring on a financial advisor? Like, who's going to be left holding the bag? CNBC? Who's going to be left holding the bag? It's not like everyone wins.
Yeah. They're the people that were playing checkers with a small child and the small child won and they flipped over the board because they got upset that they thought that it was impossible for them to lose.
Yeah. I don't know where that relationship, like why they would back them up. Right. Like there's people who aren't even real journalists, like Chamath or whoever, like tons of podcasters talking about this and like bringing him on and, you know, at least asking him some real questions.
Did you listen to that podcast? What is it called? I hate that they do the besties thing. They're guesty best, whatever. It drives me nuts, but it is an interesting podcast.
Yeah.
What's it called? The All In podcast. And it's a bunch of like tech, you know, angel investor bros that now have a podcast. They had Draymond Green on, and then they had the Robin Hood guy on as well. And it was mainly softballs.
It wasn't too hard because Chamath went from saying he should go to jail to like he was a little bit harder because they had that David Calcutta or whatever. I can't remember his name. David. It starts with a C. He's one of their founding investors, Robin Hood.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't.
Wasn't one of the things I didn't dig into it, but wasn't one of the things that people were crushing Robinhood for, Chamath's company that he's invested in that does similar stuff was doing a thing that they were calling out Robinhood from? There was some kind of hypocrisy there, I want to say.
The weird thing, what's his name? Sachs, I think, commented on it. The weird thing is like, why did Discord shut him down? Why? Like what? Okay, that's weird. And then why did Google delete all the negative comments on Robinhood's app page?
I assume it was powerful people calling in favors, right?
Yeah, like it doesn't like if it wasn't some sort of coordinated effort, and I don't think they necessarily need to be like that old Carlin stand up where he says these people have shared likes and interests. Like they don't need to get in a room. They go to the same schools. They marry each other, right? It's a big club and you're not in it, or whatever, that bit.
Right.
Like a lot of times, did I ever tell this story about someone was telling me about, this is years ago. It was like a wealthy person telling me the story of the Pittsburgh Steelers daughter. I can't remember the gender.
The Mara, right?
Yeah, I did tell this, right? Yeah.
I don't think you've told this, but I was just saying it's the Mara daughter.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. The Mara daughter married like the Giants daughter. Yeah.
You did tell us long ago, but we got new people in here.
Yeah, well, but that's the whole story. Anyways, do you know the Giants daughter married the Pittsburgh Steelers son? And I'm like, of course they did. Of course they fucking did. Like, because you got to marry another football team owner. You know what I mean? It's like, how does that happen? They're like not even in the same state. And it's like, you know, they don't all know each other. But my point I'm trying to get at is they don't even necessarily have to like get in a room. But that whole episode of like, even if everything Vlad says is true, is still really fucking weird. At the very least, a gigantic coincidence that Discord would shut them down, Google would delete all the negative comments. You know, all the online retail providers weren't liquid. Okay, like maybe one of them stayed up. I can't remember. It's really funny. But here's what I'll tell you: I guarantee Congress gets down to the bottom of this. So don't you guys worry. Okay, they're here for you. So we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll figure it all out, and they'll make it right.
Nick has a question for you. I'm not familiar with this. Are you familiar with the Raging Bull trading scam? I'm curious if you think prosecution was justified.
Nick called me a boomer on Twitter and unfollowed me.
Really? He unfollowed you for being a boomer?
Remember that, Nick?
Was it because you called them cyberpunks instead of crypto punks?
No, it's because I made fun of the halftime show at the Super Bowl. I said, what is this? It's like communist propaganda.
Oh, that was I enjoyed the halftime show, but I also enjoyed your tweet. Yeah, I knew you weren't even watching that.
No, I turned it on. It was like a bunch of red suited guys with like masks on.
Yeah.
Yes,
I told you to save it for the show. I mean, we need those historical hot takes for LOLz, man. That's what everyone tunes in, just waiting for you to say something incendiary like that.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So like back to the crypto thing, is your relationship with crypto still just hodling, or seeing stuff like DeFi, these alternative investments? Obviously, you famously bought a Nikola Jokic Cosmic, but are you trying to think of other ways to put your crypto to work? Or are you content just keeping it in its crypto state?
Well, no, as soon as Andy does that show with you, I probably will follow along and do a little bit.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's like I talked about this on Maddox podcast a little bit, with like my brother brought this up when, because the only thing I think that can stop it is like a government getting in the way. And I still think that that's a possibility, even though it's not very likely that could happen, at least in the short term, drop the price significantly. But he's like, my brother's like, what are you going to do? Like go into cash? You know what I mean? Like that's the whole reason you buy Bitcoin, is to get out of cash. You know what I mean? At least the original cyberpunks who got into Bitcoin, so just, selling is an option, right? Obviously, but it's like, okay, well now I have what? Cash? I mean, obviously that doesn't, it's not the worst thing in the world, but like, as far as investing or whatever, see, I don't want to go into cash. So like, what am I going to go into? Gold and Peter Schiff and, that dropped like $50 today. He must be fucking crying in his suit.
When you have big winning DFS weeks, are you pulling that cash out and putting some of it into crypto?
No, just pay bills.
Yeah.
If I have to
buy a lake house.
Buy a lake house.
Yeah. Is the search on hold?
Yeah, I'm not. Well, a little bit. Still looking a little bit. There's fucking nothing available. That's nothing. Real estate.
I was just going to talk about that because we've been keeping our eye on stuff around here, and there's nothing.
And listen, the $15,000 tax credit that they're proposing now in the new stimulus. Hey, that's great. I hope they do it. But like these things do have consequences, right? Like the economy isn't some little thing you could just play with like a Pinocchio, like if you give everyone $15,000, that's going to raise the price of the inventory available because people can pay more for it. So there's more competition and higher prices. So like some people it'll help, some people will screw. Yeah.
Dave, this is where we really have to give the not a financial advisor. Dave's asking a question to a financial advisor here.
We are gamblers.
Yeah.
Most of my adult life has been a professional gambler, not someone you should ask.
My goal is after Brian saying how much he hates and how stupid it is to say I'm not a financial advisor, to pass along questions where he's forced to say I'm not a financial advisor.
That's it. Well, now I got reason to. They're bringing deep fucking value in.
Yeah.
I mean they will make an example out of you, obviously.
Look, I mean, this could be you, man. This could be you.
I mean, it's I love that guy. I watched a couple of his videos. He's just
what is he like? Is he charismatic?
He is exactly like you'd think, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should watch his last video. And they're in this lawsuit. They're saying he's got like 500,000 followers. And it's like he got all those after the news reports and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just a bunch of fucking scumbags.
It could be us, man. Could be us.
That would suck, man. You do not want to let them get their grips on you. You do not want the state coming after you.
Yeah. Because
you will lose. You don't want the newspapers coming after you either. That's not that won't be pretty.
Scott wants us to go halvesies on a punk. We could have. We chose a Jokic instead. I'm in a chat with 4 punkers, and I mean it is absolutely brutal. I like all the guys, but I might actually just have to drop out of the chat. I can't listen to these guys talk about fucking crypto punks all day.
Have you bought any?
Right. Have I bought any? I think we're up to like a $20,000 floor on these crypto punks.
In your group or just you?
Brian, I am a no punker, and I will probably be a no punker for the rest of my life. And unless someone wants to give me a Jokic sweetheart deal where I can fractionally, my bit that I want to do is I want to own 1/10 of a crypto punk so I can put 1/10 of a crypto punk in my Twitter avatar. Like it's just like a few pixels from his eye. And that's my Twitter.
1/10 of the crypto punk sounds like very expensive at this point.
And also, I buried myself. My point got lost in translation, but I was saying on the Club Top Shot, I was like, I think there will be times when the market will dip back and I can buy a crypto punk for cheaper. And like since then, the floor has gone up like 4 ETH. So now I'm getting comments like this from my guy Willis. So I was saying on a very long time horizon there. So yes, I'm a dirty no punker, Brian. I will say, just pure coolness factor. Like I get the origin story of the CryptoPunks. Like it is a very cool story, but the Hashmacks as art are actually like very cool.
Okay,
like,
I did see some of those. Yeah, and they look like actual.
Yeah,
like
they look like a lot of them have this like futuristic Mayan/Aztec vibe to them. That I really enjoy.
Yes. Yeah, I saw them. I'm like, oh, those are pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Until you said that, I thought those were CryptoPunks too.
Cyberpunks, yeah.
Cyberpunks too, yeah.
Well, we didn't even talk about this. James, please stop talking about the floor. And let's not talk in USD. Let's talk in ETH so it's a little harder for me to convert in my head and immediately feel bad about. Can you put it in pounds, James? I believe you're a Brit. Put it in pounds and then I won't know what it is. No. Let's see here. Yeah, CryptoPunk's now going for 1 ETH per pixel. We were talking about taxes though and stuff of not wanting to take profits off. This is an example of cognitive dissonance. I don't want to sell my Bitcoin because of having to deal with tax stuff. The tax implications next year of all this Top Shot trading is going to be insane. Every single one of these trades is a taxable event.
Oh shit, yeah. I haven't traded anything, so it doesn't matter to me. But like, yeah, because they're gonna send in a 1099 probably for you.
Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I really don't, but it's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, so if you sold a baseball card to your buddy, technically that's a taxable event.
Yeah, and not to mention what happens when you add in the fractional stuff.
Is that 15? Is that cap gains?
Yeah.
It's okay. At least it's cap gains.
And I want to say too, like if you go to use say I were to go buy CryptoPunk with my ETH, I buy the ETH, that's fine. But when I go to buy the CryptoPunk, like converting that ETH into a CryptoPunk is a taxable event. It's a nightmare, dude.
You just got to hold on till the dollar plummets and milk's $30 a gallon. Then you cash in your crypto.
Where do we need to move?
Everything will be traded in crypto and you won't need it.
Well, that's like someone sent me a meme of that.
Puts that around occasionally.
The one it was from the Matrix scene, and it was like, when I can't wait for Bitcoin to be 1 million, and when so I can cash it out. And it's like, when it's 1 million, you won't need to, Neo.
Yeah.
Very, very fun. I mean, I love Bitcoin, but some of the Bitcoin bros on Twitter are just so absurd. I mean, I swear to God, these guys will be like, Bitcoin will allow you to live to 1,000 years. And like, this is like the shit they tweet out.
This is what I was saying a couple of weeks ago. It's like, I thought I was a crazy Bitcoin guy. Like, you guys have lost your damn mind.
They have so lost their mind.
If you tweeted something negative about crypto, Bitcoin, like, you can get more engagement than anything you tweet.
Yeah. They are truly crazy. And there's like this version of take lock with it too. Like, when you look at the Bitcoin white paper, and I think I don't know who I heard talking about this too, but it was like, it literally says, Satoshi's vision was a peer-to-peer digital currency. And it's like, well, it's not really operating as a currency. It's now a store of value. Like, what Satoshi envisioned it to be, like, isn't actually happening right now. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but these guys, like, adjust your priors, like, adjust your takes, like, a little bit. Like, Bitcoin isn't going to save the world. It is functioning very well as a digital gold, but like, these guys act like it can cure cancer.
You, Corey in my chat saying it's not cap gains.
Jordan said that too. Jordan said it's only cap gains if you hold for a year.
So now we're not financial advisors taking tax advice from not tax representatives.
Hey, God, new bit. Our chat is not financial advisors. What if we got sued because of something someone said in our chat that I put up on the screen?
They get rid of that Section 230 thing that everyone keeps crying for, and we end up getting sued. You sent me that Taleb tweet that was about.
Yeah. Taleb is he's out. There were some. I'll pull up the tweet right now because there were some really funny replies to it. I'd sent it to you. Let me pull this up. Are you a Taleb guy? Have you read his stuff?
I've read his stuff. I used to like him a lot more. He's kind of a maniac, like an egomaniac, and like,
he's insane.
Gives some like speeches on religion and stuff, and it's like it's like gobbledygook. Makes no sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah. Right. So he had this the other day. I've been getting rid of my BTC. Why? A currency is never supposed to be more volatile than what you buy and sell with it. You can't price goods in BTC. In that respect, it's a failure, at least for now. It was taken over by COVID-denying sociopaths with the sophistication of amoebas. That's such a classic Taleb setup where, like, I think we can all agree with this part here. It's not, but then COVID denying sociopaths with the sophistication of amoebas. There was someone who said, where was one of the funniest replies I saw in here? If I can find it. It was someone referencing a quote in his own book, which was good, but it looks like I can't. Oh, here it is. You should read Anti-Fragile. Great book. There's no long-term stability without short-term volatility.
So what'd you think of it? What did you, what's your
well,
take?
it kind of was going back to what I was just saying, where I think he's kind of referencing, he says, in this respect, it's a failure. It's a failure in how it was described in the white paper, but I don't think it's a failure in how it is actually functioning right now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I try to give him the benefit of the doubt, and obviously he knows more about economics than I ever will. But like, to me, it's like, this is like, I can understand cashing out or whatever. That makes sense. But like, this reasoning doesn't like do it for me. Like, so this is the only thing the only value that Bitcoin has, and it has to happen now.
Yeah.
Like, it can happen next year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah. It's just weird because like he says, a currency is never supposed to, he made it sound like he bought his BTC to transact with it regularly as a currency. And now he's not able to, or he doesn't feel comfortable doing so. So that's why he's getting rid of it. I mean, they're really like, there haven't been a lot of options or good options for actually using crypto as a currency. And then in the times that companies have offered it, no one wants to use it because they're all hoarding it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like a supply thing. A supply problem with a ton of interest and assets just skyrocketing, which makes no goddamn sense to me. The COVID denying. So fast. How many Bitcoin people? How many people own a Satoshi? There's got to be millions, right?
No, I know that's what's so funny about it. But I will say there is, and I think I don't follow as many of them as I used to, maybe back in 2017. But that there is that strain of like these were the guys that would like post photos of just eating for dinner, just like one, filet mignon steak. It was just like all you need to eat is steak and buy Bitcoin. And apparently maybe they morphed into being COVID denying amoebas as well.
Okay.
But yes, there is definitely a genre of hardcore Bitcoin bro that can turn people off. I will definitely grant him that.
Yes, that's for certain. And whenever you get, 10 million people, there's going to be a whole bunch of assholes in that group, right?
Yeah.
Love averages.
Yeah. So, someone I think I'd seen say too, I think it was in another thread that Taleb is such a natural contrarian that with Bitcoin getting this much pub and, this much attention that he might reflexively just be wanting to take a contrarian opinion on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if it goes down, he can victory lap. I mean, it's at an all-time high.
It is. So I've been told that it is the top. It is the top.
Are you still dollar cost averaging in?
I am. I was looking at my spreadsheet and it's pretty sobering to see buys at $10,000 versus my Monday morning buy at 48,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get like what, half a Satoshi in there.
Yeah, but the whole thing, like part of me, too, you want to like turn it off, right? And it's just, but the whole point is like the whole point of dollar cost averaging is taking your emotions out of the investment and knowing I'm not smart enough to call the top, because if it goes to 100,000 and I pulled off my things, I'm gonna feel like shit, and so I'm just gonna say I don't know, and I'll just keep doing what I've been doing for the past 2 years.
Let me ask you this then. Let's say you decide to sell.
Yeah.
Are you going to dollar cost sell, or are you going to sell it all?
I do think I would have the discipline if I were to take profits to dollar cost sell. Yeah.
Okay.
But I just like, because I've thought of it as like a hyper fragile investment where I'm not putting in anything that I need to pay bills or whatever, like I don't need to take small profits off either, I guess. So I just, at the end of the day, whether it's out of laziness or whether it's sharp, I'm just not touching it, and I'm just keep shoveling it in.
What percentage of the DFS community do you think has an NFT or crypto?
Well, it's funny you say this. Nick actually referenced this earlier because we did a poll on the Swolecast Twitter feed of like how many people have you bought a Top Shot, a physical trading card, or neither in the past whatever few months, and I guess neither was winning, but crypto is definitely way more broad than those two things. What percentage will define them as people who have played at least 5 slates on DraftKings in the past year or something like that?
Yeah, I was thinking just from a DFS perspective, like everyone who plays DFS of that pool, how many have, some crypto or an NFT?
I would say My gut is to say it higher than it actually is because I'm probably speaking for our Twitter niche bubble more than the overall DFS population. I'll say 35%.
That sounds fair to me. I bet sports betting's higher because they've had to deal with crypto.
Yeah.
To bet for so long.
Yeah.
I bet they're like 50 or 60% at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of like. And you think of all the, like, here's another good question for you. How many of the people, and this helps kind of, Venn diagram around the normies, how many of the people who were retail investing in the meme stocks, in the GameStop, the AMC, the Nokia, how many of them do you think own crypto?
Yeah, that I bet a decent amount. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of overlap there.
I think there's definitely overlap, but I still would bet it would be around that 30 to 35% range and not an overwhelming majority.
The problem with them though is like the ticker's right there. So it'll have AMC right next to the BTC ticker on most of these things nowadays.
Yeah.
So it's like right in their face, where with DFS, it's these are separate things. Completely.
Yeah. I think, it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to think about. Carlini, I had about 25 DMs from DFS people, so you can use that as a reference point. I didn't know what DFS was a few months ago. What are these DFS people asking you, Carlini? I'm trying to think too. Like, I haven't spent time on Wall Street bets and stuff. Like, is Bitcoin and crypto a topic of conversation on there, or is that sectioned off in crypto subreddits?
No, it's in there.
Yeah,
it's in there. They were just pumping something today. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, was their gateway to it the Dogecoin? Because that's like the meme stock of crypto.
Yeah, they talk about Doge in there too.
Yeah. Yep. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're definitely on it.
Well,
I don't hear any NFT talk, and I don't hear any of the sushi swap type of DeFi stuff very much either.
Wait till the Wall Street bets bros find the twerking Pepe NFTs. They're going to be all over it. It seems right up their alley.
They have all the Pepes. They have all those emojis.
It's funny you say this, Carlene. These are all the questions that the DFS bros were asking you. I am going to ask you how to make a man's coin NFT. It's literally on my to-do list. Something I needed to ask you. So I will be one of the DFS bros hitting up the great Carlini of NFT Boxes fame. Jordan says people are buying these ticker trusts on the market instead of the actual BTC. I think they're the stupidest money. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I did buy some of that, honestly, just a little bit, just because it's skyrocketing, and it's like I had a cash sitting in there, not invested.
Brian, I love you have these two minds where you have like this super sharp, like Brian brain where you do everything like methodical and analytical. And then you have the just like degen brain, like I'll just bet on the Bears spread with my buddies at halftime. I'll just like throw some money in because it's pumping or because the Wall Street bets guys did it.
They call it aping in. All right.
That's look at you. Ape into some cyberpunks, Brian.
I don't know about that.
Brian,
I might, but like I see 1.8 million and I'm like, all right, fuck that.
Oh, for the super cool trait ones.
Like how much is a cosmic in that world?
Speaking of, has the floor on our Jokic cosmic gone up?
Yeah, it hasn't gone up much. Like for a second there, it was 30 something, but then someone listed lower.
And he dropped 40 again the other night.
Yeah, apparently people don't care.
People don't care. We got to pump our
the game plan, right? Is to win the MVP.
That is the game plan.
parlay an MVP book, bet in the sports books, win the MVP, sell the Jokic cosmic for what? 1.8 mil.
1.8. No. I think are we going to use it to then buy a crypto? Let's see here. So,
let's not sell it. Let's loan it, right? And we'll leverage the 1.8 million. So it's gonna $2,000.
No, but I'm saying this low ask here, the 24.99 has been like the low ask ever since we bought.
Oh, I thought I saw one higher, but I guess not.
I mean, maybe someone scooped it up or whatever, but yeah, but
listening, see what the other ones are going for.
well, there. Oh, sorry, it won't. I'm looking at it. It doesn't show up in the screen for some reason. There's a number 11's 38,000. Number 2 is 50,000. 18 77,000. Number 4 244,000. So, yeah, people aren't chasing these cosmics. We're still the top sale.
God damn it!
You want to know how we're a fish? When you see Peter Jennings buying number 14 for 8,500, and then you see Big Dick Bric right up here, top sale.
We made him 2 point whatever X right off the bat.
Yeah. And then Bales was down here back January 9th before Top Shot was merely a speck in our eyes.
Let's go down to the cheapest one there. Oh no, $580 October 20th.
These are the Carlini days down here. Oh, there's MBL, Mike from Club Top Shot. Haku buying, can you imagine buying a Jokic for $580?
They're probably like, oh, I don't know. I guess I'll do it.
Yeah. Thank you, Carlini, for putting this in pounds, because then this is just pure gibberish for me. Pure gibberish. I can cope with this number.
You can't even spend that at your local grocery store, so it's not even real.
Yeah, this is the play. We need to buy another to artificially raise the floor. Yeah.
I wanted to buy that 25 after we bought that one and then sell ours. Because there's only a couple thousand more. And I'm like, and the numerology bros were getting to me.
You got to be careful with, man. They're vicious. They're almost as vicious as the cyberpunk bros. Oh my goodness. I mean, yeah, it's just, it's hard to keep track of everything, Brian. It's overwhelming.
Are you playing DFS anymore? Or are you just now?
Dude, I had a good hit on MMA on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Nice. A little, PD Pack 6X, I think, on my buy-ins, so
just like high placements, but you didn't bank one, or?
No, yeah, I got first in one of the small 20 maxes.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, so I love the MMA DFS. I've been doing some of the NBA Showdown DFS when I can. It's just like I don't know, the combination of doing shows. A lot of the big contest ones are for the 10 p.m. Eastern games. And then I'm like, I get zero sweat equity out of this because I'm not going to stay up and watch the whole game. And but I've been messing around like the Saturday and Sunday. If there's games there during the afternoon, I'll hop in there. And
with NBA, you're saying NBA?
Yeah, just the single game. I'm not doing the full game.
Are you getting those NASCAR streets?
I should. How was what did we just have? Daytona? What was the big one we just had?
Daytona.
Was that? Were you in them streets?
Yeah.
Was it fun?
Yeah, Daytona. NASCAR doesn't do it for the sweat.
Yeah.
Because like if you ever sweat NASCAR DFS, it's like you're in first, which I was with like, I don't know, 30 laps to go. And it's like, oh, now I'm dead last. There's a crash, dead last.
Yeah.
The kids call it crash car. Not NASCAR. Yeah, because it's such a crapshoot. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of I think there's some dead money there. I think you could still make money on it.
Anthony says, Pete, will you play MLB DFS? It's a good time. So I was a little scarred because I hadn't really played any MLB DFS, and then I was trying out some Korean baseball DFS, and then there were the late scratches and all of the guys with the same name. Please don't cancel me for saying that. And it just got it just got overwhelming to me. But is it MLB in non-COVID times isn't that stressful with like late scratches and lineup stuff, right?
No, it's better. It's much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
You usually, except for the Astros or some asshole teams, the Angels sometimes, they usually have all the lineups out half an hour before.
Yeah.
Lock. And like swapping's not that big of a deal because like if LeBron gets ruled out, it matters a lot. But like if except like maybe Mike Trout, but usually there's another stud you could swap to.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter as much even if that does happen. Pitchers rarely get scratched.
Yeah. I actually, for the way I approach DFS, I should actually like NASCAR DFS more. because there isn't a lot of late news. You don't have to worry about correlation. It's one of the reasons I like MMA. It's very minus all of the. I just wait, right? You just wait an hour before to do your stuff because I swear every single time I'm getting the emails from DraftKings notification about your upcoming contest. These two fighters are no longer fighting.
Yep.
But I like these hands-off sports where I can just swoop in. I don't need to know much, and I can get my gambling itch on.
That's why I don't know why the like recreational DFS NBA fan doesn't want to get rid of late spot.
Yeah.
It's a negative for them because they're not sitting there changing their lineups, and you have to sit at your goddamn. If you are, then you have to sit at your computer till whatever 9:30 Central.
Yeah,
every time it makes no sense. It'd be much better just roll with the punches, and if your guy gets ruled out, that is what it is. But most nights you just get your lineups in at 6 and you're done.
Yeah. I like the evolution of this podcast. I mean, back in the beginning, it was stop talking about League of Legends and just have Brian give us the answers to the DFS test. And then we would get off topic and people would say, get back to DFS, give us the answers to the test, release the Sims. And then I did a video where it said we were going to talk about Top Shot, and people got mad that we weren't talking about Top Shot. And then we're talking about crypto, and now went to DFS, and now people want us to go back to financial advice. I don't know what these people want from us, Brian.
We also have guests on occasionally. Sometimes
it was fun with Petty last week.
Yeah, that was a good one. Sometimes we talk about other people's podcasts. That's probably when we're at our best, making fun of personalities in the DFS.
Well, speaking of which, I now have to get all of my Randone news secondhand. Someone was telling me, I think we were on the Swolecast, and they were telling me a tweet he had today about he thought the LaMelo moment was going to be worth $10,000. And so I have to I'm blocked. I'm missing out, Brian.
I've sent you a few. I can't send you all of them.
The one you sent me today was great. Wasn't he doing the exact thing that he had told people he didn't want them to do?
I don't remember what it was.
The one about being like, send them a book or, show them that you care, that he's like hitting on this girl on Twitter.
I can't remember what it was, but yeah. I have no comment because I love Randone, and
I do too. I didn't even say anything about him. I said something about Tanner. It just Randone. Just tell me why you blocked me, man. Let's just talk this out. We've had so many good times together over the years.
If you publicly apologize to Tanner, he'll unblock you.
My sister-in-law, she loves reality TV. She knows this. Like, the only thing we could bond about was the fact that I knew Chris Randone, and now that he's taken that away from me. Like, can you imagine when I have to go tell her that Chris Randone blocked me on Twitter? The amount of questions that's going to bring up.
She's like undermining you. Like, yes. Trying to... Guys,
I know Randone blocks everyone. But I had skated free for years and years and years. I mean, I thought I had figured it out. But apparently Icarus flew too close to the sun.
I don't know. I think maybe an apology to Tanner, you besmirched the good name.
Should I do a video apologizing for all of my Bachelorgate content and begging Chris Randone to unblock me?
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning into LOLz. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channels, please do so. We always have the audio feed down below if you want to subscribe on iTunes for that. We'll be back every Wednesday talking about whatever the hell we feel like, whether that's financial advice, Chris Randone, DFS, Top Shot, Cyberpunks. Brian, any final words?
Yeah, thanks for coming out. Hopefully Randone will unblock you.
I hope. Cross my fingers. All right, we'll see you guys next week.